non-binary pals, to enter the Spoilercast, Falcon and the Winter Soldier edition. We are here for a what I would call a harrowing episode 4. With me, as always, are some of the 3 coolest dudes I know who wouldn't beat someone to death with a shield. Absolutely not. We got Carl.
Whoa there. I'm in tax season mode. Murder is not off the table for me.
Okay, well, 2 people who wouldn't and 1 who would.
I hate possibilities. I can't. Yeah.
In the wouldn't, we've got Carl.
18 million possibilities. You're trying to find the one in which I wouldn't do that.
Close enough. I'll be Dr. Strange this episode. I'm work with that. And also, hopefully, in the wouldn't is Cam.
I wouldn't, but I just want to say we released the Zemo cut happen.
Yes, we did. That's right.
Yes, we did. And firmly in the wood column is Matt.
Whoa. It's potentially, okay? I don't like superpower tax people, okay? It just really ruined my life.
Fair enough. And as always, I'm Sarah, and my designation is not with the shield. Seems just a little bit like symbolism overkill. But we will talk more about that later, I promise. So yes, we are back for episode 4. But before we dig into the bloody mess that was this episode, we've got to get the best part of the show up front and ready to rumble, and that is, of course, Carl's recap. Carl, tell us what happened this week on Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes, so following on from last week's revelation of Ao, a member of Wakandan's Dora Milaje, appearing to give Barnes 8 hours to basically do what they have to do with Zemo before the Wakandans take him back, as Zemo has killed Black Panther. They killed the guy. Zemo helps them find God, I'm not even going to bother saying the full name. I'm going to just call her Morgan from now on. Morgan at the funeral of her adoptive mother, where Walker and Hoskins intercept them after basically giving Sam some time to try and talk her down, and of course Walker, being the hothead that he is, doesn't give them enough time. Zemo ends up intercepting Morgan at some point after the big fight and just goes, "Hey, look, you know what will solve this problem? Bullets!" Boom, boom, boom. And manages to cause Morgan to spill the leftover vials of the super soldier serum before Zemo is apprehended by Walker, who magically finds one vial that wasn't stepped on. Ao and the Dora Milaje come for Zemo back at the hotel, but Walker refuses to hand Zemo over, and basically a fight ensues with the Dora Milaje, humiliating Walker and allowing Zemo to escape through a very big grate in the bathroom for some reason. Morgan threatens Sarah, forcing Wilson to meet her so she can attempt to persuade Wilson to join the Flag Smashers. But, Wilson, of course, Mr. Good Guy, will not do so. Walker and Hoskins engage the other members of the Flag Smashers, leading to another fight in which Morgan accidentally kills Hoskins. Enraged by his friend's death and having taken the serum off screen, Walker uses his shield to kill one of the Flag Smashers in front of the horrified spectators who film his actions, and leading to the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Good times.
Yeah.
What an episode.
So much happens, and yet really so easy to distill into Zemo gets away and then Walker loses his goddamn shit.
Yeah.
So we'll start with what was everyone's favorite part of the episode. Carl's probably tired from recapping, so let's go with Cam first.
I mean, my favorite part was definitely just seeing. Well, it's sort of like a twofold scene that 2 very good things happen for me. One, we get to see Walker be very, very humiliated, and just you can tell he just absolutely hates it, and he just becomes such a baby about it. But mainly when the Dora Milaje show up and just kind of kick everyone's ass, and it's great. Like, for one, it's just always great to see them just in action and just like doing what they do best. And then, my God, just like them like fighting Walker and him just being completely just out of his element, and he just turned to like such a fucking baby. He was like, they're not even super soldiers.
You get that guy.
I just
"They're
like
not-" you gotta say they're not even super soldiers. You gotta have a whole like bitch voice, man. It was
he
great.
looked like he was gonna cry, and I loved it.
Yes, he was like,
I loved it. I also, as far as that scene, when Bucky was like, "You're doing great," I was like,
We should
or
help
something
him.
along
You're
those
doing
lines.
good, man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so that's like that scene is definitely my highlight of the episode.
I do have to say that just the fact that John Walker spent the entire episode looking either like he was gonna cry or like he was a crack addict. Like those were the two modes we got this time around. Like,
Yeah.
okay. You want some help, buddy? Are you alright? Matt, what about you?
my favorite part outside of John Walker looking like a total pansy is the conversation that Zemo had with Sam, showing Sam's character more of Zemo. See, Zemo in the comics, he's very anti-superhumans, but he's also pro-human, aka fascist, or any society that makes him look good, because fascists will side with anybody that makes him look good. I mean, whatever. What his thing is,
It's true.
So he liked his ideology. Like, it's not that I hate superheroes. It's like, they're weapons and they're gods. You have to stop them. And he's like, you can't solve problems like blood, Zemo. Whatever. And also like how Zemo just casually escapes. Like he
Yeah.
just casually dances with life away. You know what? Give me the Zemo dance away scene, please. I want that, please. Zemo dance cut.
The full peace out Girl Scout for Baron Zemo.
Yes.
Just in the sewer dancing, just the whole
Into the
time.
sewer dancing. Yes.
Oh man, yeah. Release that cut. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen, y'all. Carl.
My one definitely is just, once again, I've come to realize that Baron Zemo is the best character in this series. Like,
He's great.
without a doubt. His whole ideal of, let all the superhero people beat the crap out of each other, and then, oh, look, the person that we need is started to escape. You know what will solve this situation? Bullets! Boom!
Yeah.
Oh, look, you're now down on the ground, and I didn't need a superpower.
Yeah.
Most logical.
That attitude of just like, yep, bullets, they still work.
Surprise. You still die if I shoot you enough. Oh man. I have to say my favorite scene was another Zemo scene. I mean, I loved all the scenes that y'all talked about, but like the Zemo scene where Sam and Bucky are trying to like get people to talk to them, and they're all like, nah, and Zemo's like, haha, you fucking morons, and he's just like, children, I have candy. Tell me your secret. I was like, he knows. Yeah,
I have candy and a van.
Well, no van, thank God. I was just like, he's just
would've been
like,
too
listen
much.
up, you fucking plebes and your stupid, like, I'm gonna walk right up to, like, a bunch of adults and try to get them to talk to me. He's like, no, dumbasses, you must go for the children. The children know all the secrets, which is true. Children always know all the secrets.
This is true.
Yeah, so he's like, hello, child. Also, don't trust them because I'm gonna fuck up their shit later. Like, he's just so, like, 2 steps ahead of everybody, which is how he's able to, like, peace out Girl Scout through a giant grate in the bathtub, which I'm like, maybe I feel like he probably picked the place, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he chose the hotel or wherever the hell they're staying specifically because he had that like escape hatch at the ready. I do not want to know what Latvian sewer systems are like. I don't think they're probably that good.
They're probably very danceable.
Yes.
I would hope so.
The radiation probably makes it glow in the dark, so at least there's that. That's a bad USSR joke, but I'll do what I want.
I will say quickly one thing about that scene with Zemo and the kids. Like, he does tell them that Sam and Bucky are bad people and not to trust them. Then he shows up with them when he meets the girl later on. I'm like, hold on, isn't that making you out to be a friggin' liar? Because you're pretending to be the good guy and you're hanging out with the bad people. No, I shouldn't trust you either way.
I mean, to be fair, it was probably just like a backup plan in case they like try to like get the kid to tell them information. Like, he wanted to be the one who had the information and that they couldn't get it, so that they couldn't like plan to ditch him or give him to the Dora Milaje, which I can understand. I will say, for scene that annoyed me the most, because we're gonna go for that category, because there were a lot of scenes where Sam is talking to Carly. and Walker's just like pacing the floor
my
again like a
God.
crack addict.
Pissed me off. It's
Yeah.
so frustrating.
Like, we need to go in there. We need like, shut the fuck up. You weren't even invited to this party, John. You weren't
Yeah.
even invited, and you show up anyway with your bullshit, and now you want to like take over the scene and like punch people in the face like you did in Germany because that worked so well for you before. Oh, so many. So annoyed. Anybody else
Yeah.
have a scene that
Yeah.
wanted?
No, definitely that one. Like, I mean, I feel like that's the one, the scene that frustrated me the most, because he really just, all of the bad things that happened subsequently to that scene, um, were essentially Walker's fault, because he decided to jump the gun. Sam was like, "What? Give me what was it? 10 minutes, something like that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it hadn't even been that long, and he's like, "I want to go in, like I want to be the big hero man and do the thing," but he just had to go in and just ruin everything. And like Sam and Carly, like you said, Sarah, like they were having a very good discussion with each other and sort of like appealing to each other. And like Sam was kind of like, getting through to her and sort of like getting her to like show a different side of herself. And then Walker had to bust in there and kind of just fuck it up like he usually does. So
Yeah,
that was
basically.
definitely just like, I wanted to just like just throw my fist through my TV, but I didn't want to do that because those cost money. So I
Yeah.
chose not to do that.
Very
That's
proud
smart.
of you for doing that.
Thank you.
But I had one that I call it sort of the mirror trope. It's the same scene but done from two different angles. It was the one where you had Bucky and Sam sitting on the couch going, "Hey, would you take the super soldier serum if you had a chance?" "No, I wouldn't." And then later on you had Walker and Hoskins having the exact same conversation. It's like, "Hell yeah, man, I would do that." It's like, do we really need that scene in there to like make sure that, oh, here's a big difference between Sam and Walker. One would take the serum, one wouldn't. So
It
here's it's like we didn't need that. We all knew that at some point, U.S. agent was going to take the super soldier serum. That was a given. We didn't need this foreshadowing, stupid conversation. Even though it only lasted like probably about not even a
30
minute
seconds.
each time, it was just very unneeded dialogue.
Here's the thing. Here's devil's advocate. That scene was important not because it happened, because it's pointless. It's the response, how they do it. See, John Walker, his response with less than a minute was indecisive. His friend had to tell him to do it, meaning that he'll only do things if someone tells him to do it. He has lack of thought. He's not a Captain America who doesn't have a duty, as I mentioned way episode 1. So that's important. Sam said no outright, showing that power is not important to him in that much. And Zemo was impressed. And Zemo did his impressed smile, and then Zemo did Zemo things. That's why it's important. Not because of the crappiness, it's how they responded. Because remember, John Walker didn't say no. His friend had to tell him to say yes. That means he has no thought of himself.
Yeah, he can't make his own choices. He's very much like a obedient soldier rather than a soldier for duty.
Yep.
I mean, I can see
Yeah,
that.
I personally just still see it as unneeded dialogue, really.
They could have done it better.
Yeah, fair.
That's totally fair. I will say, yeah, definitely like the parallelism, like they're basically trying to set up, and they did it maybe a little clunkily, like Sam versus John. So that was unnecessary. Let's tackle the big scene that happened. So as Carl described at the end of the episode, John Walker uses the Captain America shield to either, and we've had a mini debate about this, either fully decapitate.
Oh, you did it.
I did it. I'm horrible, I know. Snap me out of existence. Either to decapitate him or almost decapitate this man. And the last shot is of him holding the Captain America shield that is just covered in blood. How did we feel about that?
I think this is probably one of the most unnerving things that I've seen in the MCU. and that's, even including the more violent things that were on like the Netflix shows, like, so there's something about this scene was just so disturbing and visceral, even though you didn't even see just the aftermath of it. Just the entire feeling that I felt just made me so uncomfortable, and it was just I was sitting here when I first watched that episode, just hands on my head, like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening? And yeah, it was just it was very shocking just to see that for the first time, and just really see this man just go, really just become unhinged after, everything that happened. And it was just, and then for all the world to see as well. And the episode is called "The World Is Watching" or something. Is that right? I believe
The whole world is watching.
the whole world is watching. Yeah. So yeah, and that's very much the case with what happened with him, with Walker at the end. It's just, yeah, very unnerving, but yeah, you definitely get a good indication of who this character is now, and I feel like they've been obviously hinting at this for a while, of his true character. But yeah, I think we're seeing his real turn over into the U.S. agent persona now.
Yeah, and the thing to add, with that being a very disturbing scene, is this is the first time, at least in my memory, but then again, I've suffered many concussions and my memory is a complete and utter mess, where we have seen a very significant amount of blood in the MCU. Even during some of the big battles in the movies, you see everybody get cut, scarred up, and everything else, but you don't see them laying around in puddles of blood. This was the first time, to my knowledge, that we've actually seen them have that very visceral, very violent look at a scene of somebody killing another character.
I think the closest thing was probably when we saw PHO just full of bullet holes and he was bloody, but it wasn't. That still wasn't that.
Flying.
Yeah, it wasn't all over the place either. But I feel there are very few instances where I can say that there was just blood, even just a little bit of blood. There's
but there was focus on how much, the pool of blood, the blood on the guy's hand as it flops down. There was this focus to show that this was a very big, brutal moment.
Oh yeah, they got that across very well.
Oh yeah.
Yep. My favorite part about that scene is, outside him being a straight murderer, him and Karen, he stood up, looked proud of himself, and a little smirk.
He did look very
face.
Proud. Yeah.
He's like, I avenged my friend. I did the right thing, dude. You just killed somebody. I'm the hero now.
He did his hero pose with the shield. He's like, exactly. Cameras! I gotta strike a pose with the shield and everything. And
yeah, it's
even though I just killed a man in front of 30 people.
America, exactly. Fuck yeah!
Basically.
Gotta punch those flag snitches in the face now.
Yeah, pretty sure that breaks the Sokovia Accords, because not only did he kill someone on foreign soil as an agent of the United States government, he wasn't ordered to do so, and also that was an unarmed civilian. Sure, they'll go back and say oh, he was a member of the Flag Smashers, blah blah blah. That's pretty sure that's an act of war.
Mm-hmm.
That was a war crime. That man was on his back, more or less yielding, and he's just no, I'm gonna decapitate this man, and I'm gonna bludgeon him with my shield multiple times until his head comes off. That's not something that I think America's gonna be happy about.
Wait. If they acknowledge it, remember, oh no, a murder, how bad? Here's a paycheck, John. Never come back again.
Yeah, that's true. But they did have a bunch of people recording it as well. So
okay,
that's right. For context,
lots of cameras.
For context, we still are in the middle of the George Floyd murder trial, or I guess really the indictment of the officer who stood on or kneeled on his neck, a crime that was videotaped by multiple people on their phones. So you know what? Art imitates life in the scariest ways.
Yeah, but you also gotta remember that this is the Marvel universe, where Iron Man seems to be able to drop whether he is actually Tony Stark or not multiple times, and let's not forget, I'm quite sure that Shield, Sword, or Scabbard or whoever else, whatever 4,000 secret organizations that are in the Marvel Universe. I'm sure there's one that could find a way to wipe all videos off existence from like people's cell phones and off the internet, so this event never happened.
Carl, not to cut you off. Joe Quesada's not in the MCU.
Oh God.
No deals with
no.
Mephistos for marriages.
Oh, no.
What a pity.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what it is? Shield or Sword is gonna get Mephisto to wipe those phones. That's what.
Oh yeah, Mephisto strategy, or the Thunderbolt
that's
save
how-
the day.
That's how you're gonna bring him in.
Yeah, I gotta
That's it.
listen. Once an episode, we gotta mention the name Mephisto
Yeah.
to bump our SEO.
As well as Thunderbolt at this point.
Yeah, Thunderbolts is gonna end up there. Actually, it hasn't been a
Something
Thunderbolt conspiracy
Thunderbolt.
yet. I'll just say it, Thunderbolt conspiracy. All right, it's in there because it hasn't happened in the year yet.
Oh boy.
So
that scene really overshadows, I think, the death of Hoskins.
Yeah.
which is okay, because to my knowledge, like, this is the first time we really got to see anything sort of major with Hoskins. They really tried to make the whole, oh, these guys are now partners and they're best friends, and he's dead. Oh, okay, he lasted one episode. Give a fuck, sequel 0.
True. I think you do see him briefly when John Walker's gearing up to go out in episode 2 as Captain America for the first time at that football field. But
yeah.
you're right. We don't really but you don't even know who that is. So your brain is like, whatever, they're not important. They're just some rando. And then later you're like, oh, is that the same guy? That's the same guy. All right. I mean, yeah, they don't do a great job about highlighting who's going to be important. I didn't even realize Batroc the Leaper was in this. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. I guess is he
To
even gonna show up again?
To be honest, most people also forget Batroc the Leaper even exists. So
That's fair.
But I loved Gwenpool, so I have a special place in my heart for him.
only for the memes, Gwenpool be in our hearts.
Anyways, so how do we feel about that scene? Because that scene was also pretty brutal. He breaks his neck quite. I felt that. I was like, ooh, he's not getting up from that one.
Yeah, it was he got hit hard and then he flew back into a pillar, just a large concrete pillar, and just that was it. He was it was very, very quick. It happened very quickly. But yeah, like you said, it definitely got overshadowed by everything that happened afterwards. But yeah, unfortunately, his death didn't it didn't hit that hard, mainly because he's not someone that we've spent really any time with, aside from him being Walker's buddy. So we don't necessarily know anything really about him enough to for it to have an impact. The only thing that had an impact was his spinal cord against that pillar. But it just it was just kind of happened. I was like, oh shit, yeah, he's dead. Sucks. But then then everything happened afterwards and very quickly overshadowed everything else. So yeah, it just didn't have a whole lot of impact to it.
I feel they needed another episode. We did have Star Spangled Man, which was episode 2, where they sort of introduce Hoskins and have stuff like that in it. I think a dedicated sort of origins or backstory with both John and Hoskins, because they talk about that they were in some war together. So if we had seen that and spent an episode focusing on their backstory before this happened, I feel like we would have had a lot more impact on the death. Whereas this just seems like a very big means to an end. It's okay, he's had so much focus in this one episode, he's going to die by the end of it. It's that weird style of writing where I can't remember who used to do it. Was if they focused on one character for 1 or 2 episodes in a row, you knew they were going to die by the end of it.
Walking
Maybe
Dead.
Game of Thrones.
That sounds like it sounds like Walking Dead with Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
that's what this felt like. It's like there was so much focus on the Hoskins character in this particular episode, or trying to build up this relationship between them, that you knew he was going to die by the end of it, and it just doesn't seem right. Like we should have had more development. But then again, we are now actually at the halfway point of this series, and I
Further
think
than
they've
that,
just
we only
run-
have 2 left.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Because it's only
Yeah.
6. So I thought this was 8.
Yeah,
So
we're
yeah,
two-thirds.
No, yeah. 6 episodes, yeah.
God damn it!
It's flying. It's flying by.
Flying by, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of room for mystery on this one.
No.
No, well that's the thing. It's like, okay, so we're at episode 4 of 6, and we've only just had John go full ape shit. So you got the fallout of that, and you're gonna have the big John and Sam fight. Zemo's gonna have to reappear for some reason to help finish the story. And then they got to wrap up everything with the Flag Smashers in 2 episodes. This shit's gonna be rushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah, I
it's gonna
don't
be
know
a
how
race
they're
to the
gonna do it.
finish.
Yeah, I've liked everything that's happened so far for the most part, but now that we're getting to this latter half, or this latter like third rather, now I'm kind of wondering, how they're gonna juggle all of these very, very, very different moving parts that are sort of all over the place. Yeah, it's sort of like a lot of things they have to sort of tie up over the next 2 episodes. And I still don't feel that we've gotten a whole lot of the Flag Smashers. And I feel like we spoke on this last time, that it's still not entirely clear, like precisely what they want.
Yeah, there's still no clear manifesto to what it is that they want to see, other than like closing the borders and rushing through like sanctions like that just make them angry. It's like, okay, but like, what do you want then? Like, what concrete solutions are you looking for?
Yeah. For my take, I feel like, how to put this. This is the problem I noticed about the 4 episodes of the show. They spent a little too much time there's a lot of unnecessary exposition across the board in a way where they have too much exposition, not advancing the plot, but adding depth to the plot. Like, we get it, John Walker bad, Sam good, and Flag Smashers bad, Zemo not good. But it's just like, it's not enough explaining like these little holes. Like, oh hey, what is their goal again? We can't fight 2 wars, so you're just hinting that the Flag Smashers are gonna lose because they can't fight against not Cap and friends, and the Power Broker and stuff. It just seems like maybe episode 5 will be just nothing but an exposition dump. Who knows? But
Yeah.
that's a
See,
lot.
that was the other thing too. Like bringing in the Power Broker as well, saying that the Power Broker is now going after the Flag Smashers. That's another story thread.
That's
needs to be
another
wrapped up
thread, yeah.
in
Mhm.
2 episodes. And looking back on it now, I feel like episode 3, all that time in Matterport, could have been used to flesh out the story and start the progressions a little bit earlier. Like as fun as it was to see Madripoor finally properly in the live action universe, looking back on it, outside of like Zemo doing Zemo things,
Sharon.
and Sharon, that really was an entire like half an episode that could have been better dedicated to fleshing out other stories.
I will say, seeing Sharon in this episode, albeit briefly, I feel like, how does one have access to this tech to hack satellites if you're just like an art dealer?
Madripoor.
Mandatory.
I mean, yeah, but I'm like, girl.
No,
you're working for someone.
Sarah, it's Madripoor. That's it. That's all you need to know.
That's the answer to
Madripoor,
everything when everything doesn't
I
make
still
sense.
think either she is the power broker or she's working for the power broker directly.
I do still feel like she's
That's a swank ass
more
setup.
heavily
I'm
involved.
just saying.
Hey, like I said last time, the Power Broker can either be an individual or a group of individuals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
It'd be a good twist. At least it wouldn't
And
be Mephisto.
Yeah,
What a twist.
Or maybe here comes random twist 505 by Matthew. Power Broker's a Thunderbolt team. All right, got that.
I was gonna
No,
say
it's-
Power Broker is gonna be on the Thunderbolts, but all of the Thunderbolts are also all Mephisto.
Wow, you know that I can live with that theory. You know, high five, Cam. High five. You're now part of the squad. That's the best theory.
What a bold.
No, I actually I was going to suggest maybe Zemo is the power broker.
That's
Ooh.
more reasonable, I guess.
Mm.
But you know, Cam's theory
But-
has a lot of weight.
Then why would he fund the guy who makes the super serum and then shoot the guy who he funded?
Because he likes chaos. Honestly, if he was gonna do it, like I did feel like I could definitely see him having some involvement with the power broker, if not being the power broker, like outright. Because like I mean, he's very good at just like playing the game, and like he'll definitely like kill somebody who like works alongside him or for him, just to like perpetuate this lie that this like facade that he has. Like if he does in fact turn out to be the power broker, like I feel like
Well,
there
you
could be some-
also
there could
you
be
also
some weight to
think
that.
you also think about it this way in a world where you have literal gods running around and gigantic green behemoths and everything else. Why not try and get the guy who can recreate the super soldier serum, have him recreate that so you could pass it along as like Zemo said, these people are weapons. Weapons
Yeah.
make money. Zemo likes money.
Yep.
Super soldier serum can create weapons, make money.
See, but like to me that energy is more like less, super genius villain person and more like teenage person who trolls the person they like even though they like them.
No,
Because they like-
not in the Marvel universe. No, you got to think fourth dimensionally here.
Fourth, eventually I have to pay a guy to make the thing I don't want him to make. So then later when I get out of prison, because somehow I'm doing this from super prison, so then I can then shoot him and break all the things that I paid for him to make.
Hey.
It's just
When you break
weird.
it down
Hey,
like that,
hey, look! He had to shoot Nagel because Nagel knew what was going on, and if he had told Sam and Bucky, well, then the entire plan goes to shit. So
Right.
you silence those loose ends. Plus, once again, Marvel Universe, Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, does a lot out of prison. He
Sure.
practically became mayor of New York recently, and where
He
was
did,
he
yep.
before that?
That was-
Prison.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
Which, listen, Marvel, I don't know what you think prison is, but it doesn't work.
Prison in the Marvel universe works a lot like Arkham Asylum in the DC universe. It's just a stopover that you hang out at, a little vacation spot for a few days before your next grand scheme.
Yeah, it's
Prison-
that time.
prison in the MCU is just spicy house arrest.
Yeah.
Like that's basically what it is. Like it's
That
just it's like house arrest, but like you have bars on your windows. That's really it though. But you can still do whatever the fuck you want. But you have
Wait,
bars
hold
on
up.
your windows.
There's actually a flaw to that. You can't do whatever you want as long as Frank Castle's not in jail with you. That's run
That's
that law.
true.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's
Yeah, because he's
that's
in
the one
jail with
outlier.
you. So thanks, Punisher Max. But I was gonna say, Baron
Hey,
Zemo could
hey,
be the
we need Captain Punisher America, okay?
Captain Oh god, that was.
Oh,
I know that was.
God.
Why?
Oh god. Wow, that was oof. But yeah, I was gonna say maybe Zemo's doing all this, becoming a power broker, all this 3D, his 8th-dimensional chess, so he could just have his never-ending party. Perhaps a Zemo cut isn't just a cut; it's his dream sequence.
Wow. It's deeper than we thought it was.
Oh
Was,
man,
yeah.
Some real. That's a real deep cut. Yeah, man. If Zemo turns out to be the power, I think my brain will break. I think it'll just it will just snap in half like that poor man's neck.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Too soon, Sarah. Too soon.
Dude,
Really?
We're
I thought
still
I was
mourning
getting
the
ahead
man
of
we
it.
don't know.
yeah, we're still mourning. Man.
No, I thought I was getting ahead of it. You guys, come on.
Oh,
Oh no.
I see what you're doing.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that cut deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. What can I say? It's just bloody fun.
Yeah, just keep hitting them like a ton of bricks there, Sarah.
Keeps going. Oh my god.
Yeah, what can I say? I like to beat a dead horse. Horrible. Anyway, so besides Matt's Thunderbolts people, any other theories we have floating around in the miasma that we want to bring up and then gloat about it when we're right?
Skrulls. Always scrolls.
Yeah!
Scrolls. Always scrolls, yeah.
Scrolls!
Going back to scrolls. I mean, they showed up in WandaVision, so I mean, why not?
Cam doesn't know. I said scrolls in the WandaVision podcast, and then scrolls happened. So like, it could be scrolls. You never know. Scrolls are everywhere, man.
Hey, and
I
I still called Agatha all along, and it's going to be Agatha
Oh,
again in
yeah.
this.
Oh,
Oh, that
it's
would
a,
be
they have a new song.
The power broker is Agatha Harkness.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I
that
love
would be a
it.
plot twist.
Oh, that would be a plot twist. It's just
Maybe
like
too much of a plot twist.
it's just like the last 10 minutes just plays the theme song in the background. We're like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh god. Actually, if she shows up, can she do that wink for us? That'd be great.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
fine.
my-
I'd support that.
I just want a scene now where they're watching TV and they're actually watching WandaVision.
Oh my
Mm,
lord.
that would
that'd be-
someone
be
in
kinda wild.
Sword leaks it out to the public.
Hey, torrents, man, it happens.
True. Money to be made showing a superhuman losing their fucking mind. And
Hey,
we're about
that's the thing. We're on the second time, and we are now in a second story where we have seen a superhero lose their fucking mind.
Yep.
It's true. It's
Yep.
very true.
It's almost like we shouldn't put so much stock in these super powered people because they're going to fuck things up and betray us. It's great. I love it. I hate it. It's very I want to say Grant Morrison. Is that right? I feel
Grant
like
Morrison
that's-
is a mind effort person. Yes, he's up there.
I mean, you know what I mean, like superhero deconstructionism. But anyway,
Well,
any other theories floating around?
Definitely still holding to. I definitely believe that I do want to see more of Sharon. Hope we see more of her over the next few episodes. Being involved more heavily with the Power Broker, and I just want to see more Power Broker stuff at this point because I feel like that's
Sharon
More
Carter's
or less
solo
what-
series. Let's go.
that'd be cool. I'd be fine with it. It does kind of feel like the whole Flag Smashers things may have been a bit of a misdirect
yeah.
to make us think that sort of very much like a red herring of like this. They sort of like go into the show like making it seem like this is the big bad and like this is like the antagonist, and like obviously we knew about John Walker, but like that was going to be like a major factor, if not the biggest factor of the show. But I feel like the Flag Smashers on their own are just kind of I don't want to say an afterthought, but they're just not as pressing of a matter as Walker or even the Power Broker at this point.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to see where that goes with the Power Broker. I do definitely think Sharon is. I do still think that that's who she was speaking to in the previous episode. Either she's heavily involved with this one person or this group, if not like one of the group herself.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
No one else wants to toss their hat into the theoretical ring?
I already
It's
did.
all a dream. I was gonna say it's all a dream, and Bammer Zemo's been dancing the whole time. Go.
Wow.
Yeah. What's this?
Well then, so that's I'm not here to say that there are bad ideas. But that was a bad idea, Matt.
Of course it was. It's only been now. Let's see, 17 hours and 3 minutes without sleep. So I'm doing it.
Fair enough. Well, it sounds like we have run out of gas. Any final thoughts that you'd like to share with the viewers, everybody?
Yeah, I definitely, I have my concerns given that there's 2 episodes left, but I am still very much enjoying myself. But yeah, like I said, I don't know how they're gonna tie everything up because like I know Carl mentioned it as well. There's so many threads currently that just keep sort of cascading into even more threads, and I'm not sure how they're gonna tie them up. But at the same time, it's the Marvel Universe. I don't imagine every single one of these threads being tied up by the end because there's other shows, there's going to be other movies. This is a whole universe that a lot of these things could potentially carry on into. But Yeah, I don't know. I guess I have a little bit of apprehension now with the last 2 episodes, just given that there's so much that has to happen. But yeah, so I'm just sort of more or less just along for the ride, but that's pretty much where I am with the show, but still very much enjoying myself, and definitely I enjoyed it as much as I was terrified of it. Just the whole scene of John Walker losing his shit, and I'm curious to see how further he falls from here.
Yeah, at this point I'm more interested to see how they're going to try and wrap things up with 2 episodes left over. Like as we both mentioned before, Cam, there's a lot to go through, and I don't see this being a second series type of show. Very much, I think these shows are very one and done, self-contained type of things.
Sebastian Stan actually said he wouldn't mind doing a second season if it the cards played out that way. So
he just likes having a job though.
Yeah, it just seems like it's his personal thing. This isn't from anyone up high up in Marvel, but he wants to do it. So I mean, if it comes to that, maybe we'll get that eventually.
But I think the other question and the other thing that I'm interested to see from here is obviously by the end of this we're going to have yet another Captain America. And I don't know, they could either go either way with either Sam or Bucky taking up the shield. Or maybe even both at the same time. It'd be interesting to sort of see who ends up with the Captain America moniker, because we all know that John's not going to keep it after this.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
And maybe Sam will still be firm about not wanting it, and then the whole point is that Bucky, you were the worthy one this whole time.
Now,
we've already read that comic.
I won't get into specifics, but a few toys did spoil some things that I saw.
Stupid toys, they always seem to spoil everything.
It was not a Funko Pop, but Funko Pop spoiled Godzilla vs. Kong for me. But it was not a Funko Pop, it was just regular action figure.
Okay. How could you spoil Godzilla vs. Kong? You have a big lizard and a big monkey and they're fighting. That was the whole premise of the
big
film.
How that's...
That was in the trailer from the beginning, dude.
It was in the trailer, but I didn't.
But again,
I didn't want to see the design of it from a toy.
You're very much like me. You'd rather avoid trailers for stuff you really want to see, just so you don't get spoiled. I'm avoiding every Mortal Kombat trailer on the planet right now.
That's fair.
That's a lot of ducking and dodging.
A lot of those now.
Oh, look, it's even worse. I found out that a connection that I have is actually in the movie, and he's like, "Here's a screen cap of me. It's actually in the movie," and I'm like, "Gee, thanks, Nathan. You big dumbass."
Aww. Frog Guy's feelings. His movie spoiled, but yes, Funko Pop and the other toys. They spoil all the things, so yes, keep an eye out for those.
They need to just slow it down with those. I know, Legos have Legos are weird sometimes, but I know they've spoiled some Marvel stuff before, in the past with movies and.
Funko spoiled, I think, the latest FNAF game. Which
did they?
Apparently so. I mean, listen, I haven't played FNAF since.
It's been a long time for me.
I know,
I played the first few, but now there's way too many.
It's too much lore.
The toy companies have been sort of destroying or spoiling movies for a long, long time. I do get a chance to go to the Melbourne Toy Fair here in Australia, where a lot of the companies will come and preview what they've got coming up in the upcoming 6 plus months. I remember doing it when one of the Transformers movies was coming about. I think it was the fourth film, I think, where they
the one with Harry Tubman. Yeah,
the one where they introduced Galvatron. And I'm going through the toys, getting photos to do an article about it, and I accidentally took one of the Galvatron figure, and they're like, "No, you can't post that. That's a big spoiler for the movie." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" Oops.
Then why
okay.
is it on the floor?
Why is
Well,
it here?
well, that's what I said. I said, why have such a spoiler-heavy thing in amongst all the stuff that's freely known about the show? And they're like, "Yeah, we're reorganizing this shelf later." I'm like, "Well, you should have done it when you set it up, you idiots."
Or maybe you should just do it. I don't know. Right the fuck now.
Yeah, there needs to be some sort of like embargo for
look,
toy companies.
What was even worse is they had the movie playing on a screen next to it. So I was like,
Oh, that's
"Ugh."
weird.
Okay, well then
That's a bad choice.
they're just dumbasses.
Yeah, pretty much. But we love you, Hasbro. Send us stuff.
Yeah.
I want that transforming Optimus Prime. Goddammit.
Oh, that looks super cool.
That's beautiful. Anyway, Matt, last thoughts.
Last thoughts. Let's see. Okay, how to put this nicely. So, as we all agree, the Thunderbolts are happening. I was right at the end, so that's one. Two, this series might, like I said, next episode will be super episode wrap-up mode. I don't know what to expect from it. I do feel like I'm kind of just want to see John Walker messed up bad, so I can say John Bad as a meme. But I also would like to see maybe a cameo or two by some other characters. I'd like to see Don Cheadle again because I love Don Cheadle. We all love Don Cheadle, so that's
Always
my whole
down for
thing.
more Don Cheadle.
Always down for more Don Cheadle. So that's pretty much it. And surprise cameo if we somehow get Hawkeye in there because he's a regular dude. He works for the government, so that'd be cool to see him in there.
Oh yeah, isn't it true that we are getting some sort of surprise cameo in episode 5?
I heard the rumor mill. I can't confirm. So rumor.
Yeah, ever since they threw us under the bus with the like, the final cameo in the last episode of WandaVision, it was just like, ugh, it wasn't anything. I am but a wee bit like, I don't care. I don't even want to know. Like, I don't want to know if it's coming because I don't want to get my hopes up.
Yeah.
So I will say that I am a wee bit disappointed that we are sort of trailing away, at least in this episode, maybe the episode before, trailing away a little bit from what I think is like the central tenet of the show, which is the friendship between Bucky and Sam.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think these events are important, but I just don't see how they're going to land the metaphorical plane of their friendship at the end of this show. It just feels like they're still going to be like frenemies, which, listen, whatever, man, like, live your best life if you want to have frenemies. I just, for me, that to me was like where the show was starting, setting them up as sort of like, we know each other, we work together, but like we're not friends and we have different goals and different opinions. And then, coming together on episode 2. And then, just, the focus totally shifts into Zemo and Sharon and Walker and the Dora Milaje and the Flag Smashers. And I'm like, but I want to get back to the bro hugging, like, where's that part? And they might make it, they might not.
We need more therapy sessions, damn it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that therapist is great.
I would like a whole episode. I would like a whole episode of just their therapy session.
I will say that, like, there was just quickly one conversation that happened between, I think it was Zemo and Bucky, where they sort of start having a go at each other, and Sam steps in and goes, "Hold on, no, stop this now, or else you're going to get in this weird head tilt contest, and I don't want to see that."
Oh yeah, he's going to do the tilt, and he had already tilted his head, so he like straightens his head. I was like, ooh,
yeah, that was good. That was very good.
Zemo and Sharon Carter sub-series, let's go.
Oh, yes.
Yes, please.
Having them run Mad Report together, that would be
dope
cool. As hell.
Cool.
The therapist needs her own episode, and those two need a spin-off series.
I was gonna say the therapist also needs a spin-off. She just every episode she's counseling a different member of the Avengers.
Oh my god, yes. the therapy of superheroes. That would be like an amazing series, and
I think that would be really good.
For therapy for psychological students or something like that. Oh my god, that would make great.
Wait, didn't they do that in Marvel's comic by Max Bemis, Fool Killer? That he was a therapist for other people. That was pretty good. They did that.
That does sound vaguely familiar.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Low-key plug for the Cine Analyst, where I did superheroes the first season. You can check that out on the Outerhaven.net.
Oh, there you go.
Dad.
Where I psychoanalyzed a bunch of stuff. Alrighty, well, I think that wraps it up for all of us. Again, if you want to check out the episode review by our good friend Tyler, that's also on the Outerhaven.net, as well as news, views, and reviews from everything from video games, television, books, comics, anime, anything your heart so desires. And be sure to come back and check us out next week as we cover episode 5 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We miss you, Keith. Shout out to Keith, who's not here for this episode, but hopefully everyone knock on wood that he will be here for episode 5, or at least episode 6. You can't finish without Keith. But until then, everybody, be safe out there, and remember, please stand by.